So this is what a typical debt pile of mine looks like. There are monitors, there are computers, there are laptops, there are keyboards, there are all manner of cables, there are network devices, and the list goes on and on and on. It's amazing how these things can easily pile up, and just like the name implies, it's a debt pile because it's got good items, but they are just stacked up. They are never checked, they are not listed, they don't make money, they are just there, practically dead. The thing is this, sometimes eBay could be like a boom, like in 1 minute you have a lot going on, sales are going, and you really don't have time to go back to the items that you actually spent money buying. And gradually, if you are not careful, they just keep piling up. You keep telling yourself, I'm going to go back to this, I'm going to list it today, I'm going to list it tomorrow. You never ever have time to go back and list them, and ultimately they become a debt pile, the much dreaded debt pile. These are kind of amazing. I'm still kind of shocked below the belt how these things were able to accumulate to this magnitude. You see, these are functional computers, these are functional laptops. The keyboards are not defective in any way, but just that it doesn't matter if it looks like not complete. These are computers I just pulled out some parts from to fix some other computers or to quickly sell them off. I've always been telling myself, I'm going to come back to this, I'm going to fix them, I'm going to clean them up, I'm going to make them complete again and resell them. But that was never possible until this last week, because first, the eBay system, I would say, was glitching. Secondly, there was just no sales, also because of the situation in the world. I made 2-3 videos about it just to also lend my voice to the fact that sales were pretty much slow. But I knew one thing I was going to do, and in any case, I kind of had time to finally make the decision to go through my debt piles and start to list these items. These are items that were bought with money. These are not free items. And it's kind of shameful, to say the least, that I have allowed these items to be hanging here for so long. But in any case, not being too hard on myself, it happens because I know, like I said, eBay, sometimes you get a lot of sales, you get a lot going on that you really forget, or you really don't have time to go back. This shouldn't be the practice. As a new reseller, you're always encouraged to stay away from piling up items under your bed, stay away from piling up items in the form of a debt pile. Whatever you buy in the thrift store, in the flea market, try to list them as much as you can. List them, at least list them before you go ahead to buy new inventories, because if you are not listing item and you just keep bringing in stuff, especially if you are a one-person operator, there's the risk that very soon you're going to be having some items left in the corner, all in the name of a debt pile. If you have noticed that your debt pile is mounting, this video is specifically meant to help you, because what I did, like I said, as I realized that eBay wasn't selling, things were just on a standstill, I went into the debt pile. I was able to pull out some few items, and this particular PC was one of the PCs that I pulled out. You see, this PC, I was shocked when I opened it. I was shocked myself. Firstly, it was so dusty. Yeah, amazingly, it was unbelievably dusty. And this is what happens. Your debt pile might not be made up of hardwares like this. It might be made up of clothing, it might be made up of shoes, maybe even books. It might be kitchen utensils. But in my own case, these are computers, they are laptops, they are monitors, they are keyboards. In any case, I didn't allow this dust to deter me. I knew this was money in disguise because I know the value of this kind of PC. So I went ahead. I really spent some good time cleaning it to bringing it back to shape again. I actually used my dust blower to go through all the corners of the PC. So I cleaned it up, made sure I went through all the corners, quickly brought the PC back to completeness, which is I changed the hard drive, made sure the RAM sticks were properly placed, and I went ahead to make good pictures, and thereafter I listed it on eBay. It took about 3 days. eBay quickly indexed it because the price, like I said, was very good, way below market price. The PC sold for $235.99, and this was interesting because this was a PC that was literally brought from the dead pile, cleaned up, and sold for €235.99. What does this tell you? That within your dead pile is money hiding there. This wasn't the only thing that sold from the particular action. I actually sold a monitor also. A HPLI display was also sold. It was also very dusty. Quickly cleaned it up and then checked it for functionality. Obviously it works, which I know because they were bought as functioning items, and I listed it also, and it sold for €96. What other benefit did I get from this action? These listings that I started putting up from the dead pile from 2 days ago started bringing some new form of traffic to my shop. I realized that as soon as I was listing these items, my impressions were getting better. For 2 days, I saw that there was an increase in the traffic that eBay was giving to my shop, because obviously the algorithm saw that this shop was getting a little bit busy again. busy in terms of new listings, because there's a kind of activity that comes from you just selling items, and there's also an activity that comes for you listing new items onto your shop. The system saw that this shop was getting busy again, and hopefully just today a computer has sold and some other few small items. That shows that the system had glitched, and I had done a little bit of what I needed to do from my side, which is look through my dead pile, try to list more items on the platform. And now the system is beginning to wake up. I hope that this remains, and if this is the case, that will be very, very interesting. But then, what is the key takeaway here? The takeaway here is for you to go back, sit back, use the time to go through your dead pile and see the items that you can easily bring out, clean them. Hopefully they are not as dirty as this one, but then go ahead and make good pictures. Don't be carried away with the fact that your items are not selling. Quickly use this little break you have to go through the things you actually spend money buying and list them on the platform, and hopefully you should be able to raise some substantial amount of cash from your debt pile. And even if you are not selling them immediately, but then you are rest assured that this item ultimately have been listed, and whenever an item is listed, that is just the first step to you selling the item. Let eBay do the heavy lifting. Let them push your item to a lot of potential buyers, and ensure that you've made the right pictures. And if the price of the item you are offering is right, like I always say, eBay is more or less like a price war. If the price is right, do a little bit above bare minimum if giving a right description, and hopefully if you've made the right pictures, I want to believe that a sale will definitely come. As soon as the PC sold, it was kind of a big motivation for me to start to pack again, because for 2 days there wasn't any packing in the warehouse. So I quickly packed it up, put the PC in the bubble wrap and put it in the carton, and hopefully it should be going to the customer still today, and hopefully the customer should receive it by tomorrow or at the latest on Thursday. So, and the monitor also was also packed, carefully cleaned it, made sure that the cables and everything that was supposed to be in it was in it, and then also sent it to the buyer. So I hope this actually goes a long way to encourage you to understand that, look, within your dead piles might be a lot of items that can still be sold. The strategy I actually used to make this happen was to have sold this thing well below the market price. An item that is sold for 10, 20 or 30 euro below market price is still much better than an item that is just sleeping in your dead pile doing nothing. You can easily take the cash and reinvest it back to the business. So I hope this video helps you and encourages you. If it does, do me a favor, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel. Until I see you again, peace.